Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to demonstrate how to install Git Server on your Raspberry Pi and access using web. I'm installing the necessary components for Git and Apache server, so let it install. The necessary extensions or application has been installed. Next, let me go ahead and create a username called Git. So once that's done, I'm going to create password for that. Okay, the password has been created. I'm going to do a switch user. Okay, I switch to the new user Git, and I'm going to create a directory for the SSH. I'm going to next create authorized keys file which will hold the SSH authorized users. And finally, let me go ahead and create a test project. This should be in the home directory of the Git user. And that's it, and the empty project has been initialized. In order to push the local Git changes to the remote, you need to have an SSH key of the local stored in the Git server. I'm going to use the PuTTY key generator to do that. This would be for the line 6, and I'm going to generate. Once the key has been generated, I'm going to add it into the server so that the my local machine can access the Git server in Raspberry Pi or TinkerBoard. So this is the key. I'm going to go ahead and copy it and paste it in the user authorization I just created. Paste the key. Ensure that it is pasted in a single line and you don't move it accidentally to the next line. Go ahead and write it, and we are done with the authorization key. The next step would be to create a local Git project. So I created already. Problems of working on Windows and Linux at the same time, you confuse the commands. So you can see I already created a test. Looks like I have edited the txt. I forgot to remove the extension. So let me go ahead and initialize the repository, and now it has, again, I've confused the ls with Linux, on Windows. So I've created the Git repository here. Next step would be to go ahead and authorize the server. So that can be done by this template here. So this is the project name. That would be the test project which I created in my server, and this is my server IP. That would be 192.168.1.103. Let's see. Okay, so we have added that. I'm going to add the test.c to the repository now. This would be a test message. Anything will work. And finally, we'll try to push the server. Let's see if it works. And apparently it didn't work. We need to check why. identification has changed. So this should be a problem. So let me try to kill this session and check if it's still working. Yep, I'm still able to log in through the Linaro. That's the SSH, pretty SSH, but through the command prompt I'm unable to push it. I may have to look why this is happening. After some digging, I found out that I have to go to my user directory .ssh and delete this and try to re-establish again, and it should work. So let me go back and try again, and as you can see, it's trying to establish connection now. And password, let me check if it works. Yep. And there you have it. I have completely synced with my local to the server, that's the Raspberry Pi. Next I'm going to show how to do this, but with the web browser based setup, where you can directly do a checkout using tools like Git extension using a web interface. So let's do that next. First, let me create a password for HTTP authentication. This is the Git, and let's see if I have access. Okay, so I need to do a sudo. Let me try again. Okay. Okay. There you have it. I have added that. Next step is to go ahead and add Apache, enable all the Apache modules. Okay, so that's done. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add the configured Git repository and the username to the default config of Apache server. So scroll all the way to the bottom. Just before this, just add an extra line. So here what we're doing is we are giving the path for the Git user account HTTP password. That's pretty much it. Let me go ahead and write that and exit that. Let's go ahead and restart the service, and it's rebooted. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a link between the Git repository, the Git web, and the Apache server. Let me first go ahead and switch user Git. Okay, and where's my project? CD. There we Git, and let me now let me do a link. So once done, you have to enter the password. So okay, I don't care if it's recorded. Let me go ahead and update the server info again. Okay, I don't care. And finally change the access permission. It's going to report again, but yeah, it's just ignore it. And that's pretty much it. Now I should be able to clone or do a checkout of my remote using third-party tools like Git extensions. So what you do is that you click on the Git clone, and I guess my okay, I think yep. Let me go ahead and type the test project, and this should be somewhere here. Let me create it just in case. Again, this is sample. I'm going to select this folder. Hope this works. It's going to ask for password. Okay, didn't work. So let me see, what did I do wrong? After some searching, I found out I forgot to add certain details with the environment variable setting. So that will be here, where you need to mention where exactly your Git the user is located and details like the HTTP backend. This I forgot to add, and let's see if after adding all these details will it work. I'm going to restart the Apache server, go back to Git extensions, please work, please. Yes, and yep, it's working now. Okay, yep, a lot to learn, I guess. There you have it. This was a commit which I had made earlier, and you're able to do a proper checkout using third-party tools like Git extensions. And finally, accessing all of this through using a web browser. I'm going to set it up next. So let me go ahead and do a basic web configuration. So the project directory is all that you have to edit. In our case, it'll be home, git, and yeah, that's pretty much it. This will vary based on where you have set up your git. What is the user? Like I have set it as git. It might be different for you. And finally, configure the git web. That would be okay. I'm going to configure the git web now. So all you have to do is modify the directory. Let me go ahead and delete all of this. So all you're doing is you're providing certain auth details, like the home directory and the password, things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and save it, and so let's go ahead and do the final step. A2EN config is nothing but a tool to enable or disable Apache configuration. So here we're going to go ahead and enable the Git web configuration. So it's already enabled, and final step would be to go ahead and reboot the Apache server. So that would be service Apache to restart, and service has failed, exited with error code. So the best would be to just go ahead and reboot. You don't want to mess around a lot. Let's wait for it to come back online. After some digging, I finally find what the problem is: duplicate entries. You can see it here. So what you can do is I'm gonna go ahead and delete this. Same thing with this. So once I've done this, I believe it should work. Got my fingers crossed. Yep, it rebooted. So next step would be to go ahead and access the web server. I'm gonna go ahead and open the browser, and I'm gonna enter the IP address of my server and git web. You should ask for the password. The password is the username is git, which you had created earlier, and the password which I said. And there you have it. The project which I had committed, all the changes, it's visible here. Yep. And I can even view the file, but since it's an empty file, there's nothing to be viewed here. So that's all I had. Please do like and subscribe for more videos and tutorials like this. Thank you.